Whoever's representing, please come up, state your name, what you're here for.
Hi, my name is Eric LeClaire. I'm an engineering consultant, CDM Smith, representing New York City DEP.
Hi, my name is Linda Singh. I'm the Deputy Portfolio Manager for DEP.
Good afternoon. At Basic, New York City, DP.
Okay, how are you? So what are you looking for, an extension?
Yes, that's correct.
For how long?
Can it be a longer duration than 1 year? The construction is, I believe, scheduled to go through mid-2025, so about 18 months from now.
So you're looking for an 18-month extension of time? I don't have this one. Okay, I have this. Copy. Okay, has anything changed from the original application that we approved?
No, sir.
No changes to the drawings, no changes to,
No, the work is still the same as was presented previously.
Has work begun? Work hasn't begun on this, has it?
Work
Oh, it
has
has.
begun at the site. Yeah.
Good, all right.
you're Eric Leclerc, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, because you have because I have the original permit here, not signed, but I have your copy signed. So I don't know which one to mark up. So if I give you till December of 2025, would that cover you? That's a year and,
Would that be sufficient based on?
it's 20 months.
That would be, because they're planning to finish early.
We're speaking
Yeah,
in
speak to the
mic.
Yeah.
microphone.
Sorry.
Yes, that would be.
So you want an extension till December 31st, 2025.
Correct.
Correct.
All right, so the
Thank you.
following, all right, so I'm gonna make a motion, let me just,
Based on their schedule, I think.
Can I ask what the holdup is? You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
So the construction, the procurement of the construction contract took a little bit longer than what was anticipated. The project was bid in September of 2023. And then it's up until this spring, I think it was, the
February.
notice to
February
proceed
28th.
was in February of this year. So it just took a little bit longer in the contract procurement phase.
Thank you.
okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to grant an extension of the permit number 993 to the New York City DEP West Branch Reservoir Auxiliary Dam, 34 Drillville Road, with the following two conditions. The town wetland inspector do a pre and post site visit for installation of erosion controls, and install the wetland flags in advance of the work, and have the wetland inspector verify. Do I
Yeah.
have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're good till 12/31/25.
Very good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My suggestion is come by, see Rose on Monday. Sign this one, please, so we can have this one. I marked up the copy and I marked up this,
Should I sign it now?
unless you want to sign it now. Good, great idea.
I like officials.
Yeah, this is your other one that you signed, so you can take a look at it. You didn't date it the last time, though. So you get 2 demerit points for that one. '24.
Okay.
Okay, so just get Rose will send you over a copy of it. All right, thank you. Take
Good
care.
night.
Have a good night.
Okay, next, submission of application or letter of permission, Viola, formerly Suez Water, Mahopac Wells, behind 34 Coventry Circle, upgrades to existing well site.
Yes, this one.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello,
Here's
good
the
evening.
list. Good evening, can you please just state your name, who?
Ramya Ramanathan from Adzel Nasher Ziegler, planner for the applicant.
How are you tonight?
I'm well. How are all of you?
Good.
Great. So we last met with your board on March 21st. March 21st. And at that time, it was recommended that we should try and limit our impacts to the wetlands and preferably stay out of it, which we have happy to report able to do. So our dry pond has been redesigned in a way that grading is no longer recommended to come into the wetland. So we're
Right.
proposing a concrete retaining wall on the west end of the dry pond, which would limit any grading or disturbance that would be permanent in the wetlands. So, yes, so there is no permanent wetland impacts, so mitigation should not be necessary any longer. Apart from that, we were requested to provide copies of DEC and Army Corps correspondences, in case any permits have changed. We're requesting the board to maybe make that a condition, if possible, because, they have their own timelines to respond to us, and it takes a little longer.
So,
Yes.
let's just go a little, so
Sure,
the
sorry to
DEC
rush.
correspondence was still pending, correct?
Yes, we get to hear
The
from them.
HOA,
Yes, the HOA letter of endorsement was was submitted in our package to the board for this submission. It should be there.
Got it. I think this is, yeah, I got it right here.
what does it say?
Dear Chairman Laga, members of the board, I'm president of the Hunters Run Homeowners Association, Inc., and I am writing on behalf of the HOA in support of the above referenced application. Has applied for a site approval, recognizes the project will advance the important objectives to meeting the state-imposed requirements for water treatment, and they're good with it.
Okay, good. And then the other one was move or mitigate the dry pond currently placed inside the wetland. You're relocating that one, correct?
Yes. We've redesigned it in order to provide a retaining wall on the west end of the dry pond, which was just next to the wetland, so we're not grading in the wetland any longer.
Okay. I see it right
They
here.
still have a disturbance in the buffer, but now they do not have to do any mitigation of wetland removal.
Okay. Did you show the wetland signs on the map?
I'm sorry, wetlands?
The Carmel wetland signs. We had asked you to put Carmel wetland.
Yes, so we were able to pick them up from Rose and they put it on the side.
How many did you pick up?
Cool.
Here, please.
Tom Marcel, project manager with J. Fletcher Creamer. I'm trying to remember how many, maybe 10?
Okay, did you just show me on the map where you installed them?
Last time we were here, we were talking about.
Between the buffer and the,
Yeah, we wanted to encompass this main area.
okay, you put 10 in there?
Yeah.
Were they verified by the town wetland inspector?
Erosion.
No.
Okay, well,
Rich Franzetti?
did you guys start, you didn't start construction work yet, correct? Okay, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is, as part of the application, if we accept the application tonight, part of the permit stipulations are gonna be that when you put up your erosion control measures, have them verify the wetland signs, okay?
Sure.
May I ask where what page the detail for the cantilever concrete wall is? Is it actually on, I don't know if I must be missing it. Yeah, you got it. My question was, can you point out what page, what drawing the concrete wall detail was? You said on 5? Thank you.
Right here.
Yep.
It's not a cantilever.
Yep, thank you.
Right here. Right here.
Do we need a certificate of clean fill for this? If they're gonna be bringing in stone, I assume it's probably river? No.
Probably about
perhaps,
3/8 or,
three-quarter.
what kind of, 3/4, what is it?
Clean stone, it says.
3/4. Just give us a certificate of clean fill.
Sure, that's usually standard practice. We'll
Perfect,
do that,
yeah.
I would like to ask too, speaking of fill, can you just briefly talk about any other material, any other fill
grading material being brought into the site for this? Like, obviously, if you're flattening some of the area, you'll probably just reuse some of that to push it around, but are you bringing in additional material aside from the stone that you're gonna be using behind the, concrete wall?
Not that I'm aware of. If Tom knows
Pardon me?
something. Not that I'm aware of, but I'll ask, do you think there's any fill or stone coming in?
Mike, you should stand up by the lectern so the cameras can see.
Yeah. Like you were saying, anything we cut, we'll use for fills, or if we have to bring in anything, it'll be 3/4 clean or item 4.
I'll try to stay away from the item 4. Just use the 3/4.
Okay.
All right, so you got the signs, notes for spill kit on site, overnight parking, fueling plant, concrete washout area.
I did see that.
And refer drawing number 6, all of those details have been provided on sheet number 6.
Okay, and then the only thing we're gonna do is a tree planting bond, but that's once you get your permit approved.
Yes, that if you could make a condition as well, we'll appreciate that.
And you finished cutting the trees down?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Planting,
All right.
bond, condition. Yeah, that's fine.
Anybody else have anything?
Do we need anything do we need any of the erosion control measures aside from any stakes being, what is this? Oh
Silt
my goodness,
fence.
silt fencing. Do we need anything else approved by Rich? You're not, guys, you don't have any, rain gardens, you don't have anything like that?
Just the dry pond.
The dry well, do we need those calculations approved by Rich at all? I assume.
Dry well?
I mean, not the dry well, the dry pond, yeah, the storage.
Then what is it gonna do? It's not going.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah,
it's-
yeah. All right, I'm good then.
Rich also has the updated SWIP with him for
Good.
review, so that's pending his approval.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything
So,
else.
I don't have anything else. All right, so
You got anything?
with that, unless something, Anthony,
Add nothing.
Ed?
No.
One question, hydrant, there's a hydrant being put in here as well, correct? How is that water line is coming from, is it following the same utility, the water line for the hydrant, that's following the same utility as, the line as
Could you show
what's
me where
coming
the
into the
hydrant
site from the entrance?
Where do you see the hydrant? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
That's really for...
fire department, yes?
No, that's more to,
Flush the system.
flush the system, using that during startup and testing. And they may choose to take like samples from there as well.
Is there
Part of the
anything with
project.
that flushing, how does that, you're not if you're having to do any startup and shutdowns, what happens to the brackish water, any of the water that's in the,
So this water's being pumped into a treatment system, okay?
right,
So what happens is that water goes to, it's like a Brita filter at your house,
sure,
okay? So if you don't, tell me if I'm wrong. So you will go up to your faucet, you will
Yep.
pour the water into the Brita filter.
Yep.
That water will come out of the Brita filter,
Mhm.
right? That filter goes for 100 gallons.
Sure.
At the end of that 100 gallons, the carbon or the media that they use to treat the water gets spent. So
Yep.
they test that. So what happens is that material then gets backed out or drummed out, and then new material goes in. It's like putting in a new cartridge into your Brita filter.
Yep.
There may be, if they clean out the carbon unit or they back, the amount of water generated would not be a lot, but are you gonna use a vac truck to get rid of that water? Or are you going to just, is there a drain there? You know what I mean? Because what are you gonna do with that water you may use to flush? That's your question?
yes,
So there's a connection on the valve tree. They have dedicated hose that they connect to that on the valve tree. And, they arrange the valves, open, close, based on Calgon's
I
backwash
understand that,
procedure.
But what about, how far do you have to run that hose? And is this uphill that you're gonna pump this water to to the nearest storm drain? Or what, it's not gonna be a lot of water, for starters.
Sure, but if
For backwash, they bring in, it's a frac tank. That's where they take the water. So when they load the carbon, it generates some water.
Residual.
Yeah, residual. So that goes in the frac tank, and then anytime you backwash, it goes in the frac tank.
great. I'm asking because this stuff is used to capture PFAS. That's why you're doing the upgrades, correct?
Correct.
So
And if
can
that-
you just give us a maintenance,
Yeah.
as not condition of the permit right now, just send me your quarterly, semi-annually, and yearly maintenance plans for this system?
It could be in the,
Okay.
While we're
It could be-
noticing.
Yeah, it could be while you're noticing, I just wanna know, like, what you're gonna say is like, every quarter, you're gonna go there and, check gauge readings, check the pumps, make sure operating efficiently. At the mid-year point, you're going to, I don't know, change light bulbs, check the GAC filters, check whatever, test, perform, because your carbon goes burnt when you got do water test on it, right? To see if your carbon is blown through, if you burnt out your carbon. So you would then take, what kind of testing you're gonna do to monitor it, and then when you do the backwash, yearly, whatever the frequency is, you'll know after the first year,
Right.
how, what your procedure is for swapping out media. That's what I would like to just see, okay? I wanna see that you're gonna have a frac tank, that you're gonna have, you're gonna use a power wash, or, whatever you're gonna do, that you're gonna recover that water.
Okay.
My primary concern on this, as I was thinking through replacing like whole home carbon filters, is sure, you get rid of the filter, you throw it away, you're left with the container that still has some of the residual carbon in it. What do you do with that? It gets rinsed out, you toss it out in your garden or whatever. Our garden here is water that goes into our water supply, and we are filtering out using this PFAS. I would hate for the filter the medium that's in there, over the course of several years, 10 years, slowly to wash more of this back into our by any clean outs that you're doing of these tanks that are right there.
So
That's
just-
my concern.
Just give us your
Yeah,
schedule for
yeah, they have
maintenance
a
and what your
procedure.
plans are, okay?
What does the waste consist of?
Just carbon, right?
Maria, what do you know?
Maria Stepanova, Veolia representative. It is spent carbon, just like you said. It's your Brita filter, but industrial size. So it usually gets vacuumed out. Nothing is left on site. No rinsing after that, but the new media immediately gets put in, and then what we call, after that is carbon conditioning. It needs to soak for a while, then you backwash it. It gets rid of some of the fines. The water goes in the frac tanks because we also monitor. There's a whole procedure that we followed for the DOH guidance previously. And with the new EPA regulations, they may be updating the recommendations and the guidance, but that's what we followed. They have analysis that they expect from us. They have recommendations for the steps, and then we also followed Calgon guidance, how to best condition their carbon so it has the optimal performance. So you first kind of push the water from down below to up, to fluff it up, and that removes some fines, but also gives enough pore space to, so like the water flows freely. And then you do it forward flush, so like from top to bottom, the regular, water flow direction additionally removes fines and kind of sets the bed for the optimal performance. Some of the analysis that we take from the frac tanks is arsenic, because carbon might be elevated in arsenic and whatever other parameters that DOH is requesting. PFAS is never an issue at that point because it's clean carbon. And we also didn't have an issue with arsenic either. So, and from that's how we know that the water is clean.
Cool. I'm good with that. That's fine. Submitting the maintenance plan is sufficient to me.
Yeah, just give us.
Right. We definitely have the. We have the document ready, and I know that for a fact with the carbon conditioning and testing. In terms of the maintenance for the rest of the plant, I'll see if it is a part of our O&M
You don't have a
manual.
stripper in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not putting an air stripper in
No.
there? No, just carbon?
No. This is going to be carbon and
Carbon and green sand.
for iron manganese.
Okay. All right. Emily, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Anybody have anything?
No question.
All right, so then I'd like to make a motion to accept the application for a letter of, is this a letter of permission?
No, this is a full-on,
Yeah, it's a permit.
this is a permit.
Submission for an, do I have a motion to grant, to accept the application with the following conditions? One is the wetland inspector inspect all erosion control systems installed around. The town wetland signs also get inspected by the town wetlands inspector. And a copy of the maintenance plan for this system.
Certificate of clean fill as well? Or is
And
it
a
not?
certificate of clean fill,
And tree planting bond?
and the tree planting bond. I'm gonna have to do this over again, you know.
Sorry.
Okay, so strike that. Do I have a motion to accept the permit for Viola to upgrade to existing well site with the following conditions? They submit a tree bond permit to be submitted at a later date. Town wetland inspector to inspect the wetland signs on erosion control once it's installed. Provide a certificate of clean fill and provide a O&M of the system, O&M plan for the system. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're on
Thank
the
you so
clock.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This would also mean, I think it'll be next month, right, a recommendation for the planning board if
Not
this is approved?
Next meeting, probably the end of the month.
End of the month.
May, the
Okay.
end of May.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Okay, this yours or this?
No, that was in the file.
Okay, last order of business, I have to read that. Last order, can I? That's okay. So last order of business regarding this board, just to provide an update on the batteries down that they plan to install or that have been talked about. So the Mahopac Energy Storage System Information Session and Q&A. The East Point Energy is hosting a virtual information session and Q&A to provide the general public with information about the proposed energy storage system in Mahopac. This will be an opportunity to hear from company representatives and subject matter experts about the project, its status in the local permitting process, the impact to the local community, and how safety concerns are being addressed. Following the information session, attendees will have the opportunity to ask questions. We hope you are able to attend and look forward to discussing the proposed project. The date for this is May 2nd, 2024, from the times of 6:30 PM to 8 PM. Again, that's May 2nd, 2024, from 6:30 to 8 PM. And the call-in number is 833-858-0011. Again, the call-in number is 833-858-0011. The web address for this meeting would be www.eastpointvirtualmeetings.com. That's www.eastpointvirtualmeetings.com. That's one word, East Point Virtual Meetings. Or if you have any other questions, you can contact Town Hall, and they would be happy to point you in the right direction of who to contact. Again, that is May 2nd from 6:30 to 8 PM. Okay? With that, there are no meeting minutes to approve. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.